Welcome to Wodan's Day, the upgraded experience. So I had originally started Wodan's Day um, last year because I wanted to help teach people about the runes. Why? Because runic healing is part of what I do. It is a pretty big part to everything, and it is part of my mission to bring this back as a modality, but not just in the old ways that I've learned, but in new ways, blending it with modern style, more modern modalities, um, which is what my Hagalaz healing service is. Um, I take the runes, I create a grid customized for my client's needs and blend it with crystals, and we use Reiki, we use compassion techniques, um, quantum trance journeys, which is something we're going to experience in a little bit, and it is a blended healing modality in that regard. So this is our journey grid for these Wodan Days journeys. This is a portal grid. It helps for any kind of traveling sort of journey that we do. The rune in the center is on white because it's actually on a separated piece of paper. Because the base grid is going to work for all Wodan's Day, but the center rune is going to be the rune for the day that we're exploring. So that was Ansuz, which you should be able to see on my background right there. Ansuz is the first rune. A little background on runes in general. If any of you have studied the runes at all, I want you to set aside most of what you know. Not that it's entirely wrong, because some of it is pretty close and some of it is accurate, but most of what we have in modern times is based off of medieval times and during the time of Vikings and Christianity and its battle against paganism. And there's been a lot of misinterpretation, a lot of intentional misdirection over the years and centuries. So some of it's accurate, some of it's right, some of it's not. Where I get my information from is a past life, going back way before all that, when I was a rune master for a small tribe in ancient northern Europe. I did not use the runes for healing back then, although they do have healing powers. My purpose was divination for the most part. I was essentially the advisor to the chieftain in that lifetime, and I used the runes and the divination aspects of them back then. In this life, I'm the complete sort of turnaround. I don't really do the divination side, I do the healing side, and using them for healing because that is part of my purpose for this life and bringing back healing. So if you don't know what the runes are, you hate mirror images. That right there is Ansuz, is the big one in the center, but the circle shows all 24 of the Elder Futhark runes, and these are the runes we're focusing on because these are the runes that predate everything else. This is where it starts. This is where it comes down to. There are other Futharks, as they are referred to, the younger Futhark and more, and those come out in medieval times and later during the conversions and stuff that I mentioned, where they changed and they altered things, some intentionally, some just unintentionally because of misinterpretation. So I've not even really bothered to study the Younger Futharks and those about. So we're not going to go into those. But the Elder Futhark, there are 24, and they're called it's called Futhark because it is believed from an ancient rune stone found where all 24 of the runes were inscribed in a particular order, that this is like an alphabet. And the order, the first letter of each word for each rune of the first 8 spells out Futhark, so that's why it's called Futhark. Which is an understandable misinterpretation. The runes became letters of an alphabet and used in that fashion, but that's not what they originally were. So originally they are ideographic, which is similar to hieroglyphics, where it's more of a picture, but it represents not a specific word, but an idea. And that could be a lot of things and open to a lot of interpretation. So let's start with Ansuz, because Ansuz is the first, not Fehu. And I'll get into that, why Ansuz is first, shortly. So Ansuz, which is there on the background, the big F looking one, but it represents the A in the more modern alphabet, the scribe. Ansuz is one of 2 runes that is ascribed to Odin specifically. The translation from Old Norse, Oz, literally means God. The Christianized version, Oz, means mouth. And it's written about pretty heavily in the old poems. I'm not going to read the original part, I'll read you some of the translations because I do not have the tongue for the old languages in this life. It is, but some of the verses as they are in the translation. Now, in the original, there's actually rhyme and poeticness to it. In the translation, not as much. God is the chieftain of all speech, mainstay of wisdom, comfort to wise ones, for every noble earl, hope and happiness. God is the Olden Father, Asgard's chieftain, and the leader of Valhalla. Rivermouth is the way of most journeys, but a scabbard of swords. So these are speaking about Odin, these are speaking about Ansuz, and what it means and what it represents. For the most part, modern historians agree that it's around communication and also specifically with Odin, which they are correct in that regard. But it's also wisdom, clarity. In the Havamal, which is a collection of proverbs attributed to Odin, it warns us against speaking too much or speaking unwisely. That the wise man does not boast or tease or waste words. And the 4th verse of the Havamal is said to be a spell for freeing a person. The 4th I know, if foemen have fettered me hand and foot, I chant a charm, the chains to break, so the fetters will fly off my feet, and off my hands the halter. Now, on the surface, it does seem literally about physical capture, physical entanglement, but when you think of it on a metaphorical aspect, it could also be about freeing somebody from being tongue-tied, freeing somebody um, from a mental entanglement. Um, and in healing, Ansuz has several uses. And I want to clarify, in healing, it's different than divination. Divination, a rune has its normal upright, and then it has its reverse, which is considered negative. In healing, it's not negative. In healing, upright is for spiritual and emotional, and the upside down reverse version is for physical healing. So in healing, Ansuz, we use it to bring clarity, bring wisdom, bring direction and inspiration for the spiritual and emotional. For the physical, it brings healing to afflictions from the mind, brain, and throat. So good for things like my own experience of tumor in the brain would have helped me then. I had not this knowledge and unlocked all of this back then, though. So communication, wisdom, clarity, these are common attributions to Ansuz in the modern translations, and it's not far off in this case for the original ancient translations. Ansuz is the first of the Runa to meet with humanity. The Runa are an energetic life form. You could essentially say that they are a representation of our far distant future potential, because they once were a corporeal race. They are now evolved into an energetic life form. And what we're going to experience today in the quantum journey that we're going to do is we're going to go back and we're going to witness the true birth of Odin, where he meets with Ansuz, the Runa, and how they became one together. And this instigated where the myths of Odin the god came from. This is what started it. This is what instigated in humanity certain knowledge, certain jump in evolution. We're going back to about 15,000 years ago into the Mesolithic period. This is the Stone Age, second sub-period of the Stone Age, when humanity was still mostly hunter-gatherers and very tribal and nomadic. We are going to Northern Europe, of course, if you did not realize that. And I do have to admit that this kind of quantum journey I have never done before. So traditionally what I do for healing with my clients is we do this type of journey in your own timeline, your own memories, going back to help you heal from those events. So this is different. We're not going back with the intention to heal. We're going back with the intention to simply watch. And we are not going back with our own timelines. We are going back to way back. So I've never done this before. I'm not certain how well it will work for everyone. Because this is not going to be your own distinct timeline. It's not going to be your own specific genetic memory that we're trying to witness. But as long as you have European ancestry of any kind, any amount, it should be fine. It should work. Although I reckon that the experience is going to greatly vary person to person. So when all is said and done and you've gone through this experience, I would definitely greatly appreciate comments and feedback on how well you experienced it, how detailed it was for you in witness, whether you're live or on the replay, because I am recording this. So if you're late, if you just jumped on, or come in at some later point, that's okay. You can go back. I will have the replay up on YouTube later once I have the recording ready. So where did I put the grid? Go. All right. I'm going to share a little background music to help with the experience. It's the right thing. And for those who may be wondering what this music is, I use this in my sessions as well. It's a shamanic drumming with Viking chants of all the runes. It's by Trance on YouTube. I will post a link to that file later on with the replays. Just about right nice and softly. All right, so please sit back, relax, get comfortable. You to focus on your breathing, deep and slow, crown to toe. Slow, deep breaths. Get relaxed, very comfortable. You want to get to a nice deep trance space for this. As you relax, I want you to bring yourself to your happy healing space. If you don't know what the happy healing space is, that is my trademark terminology for the happy space in your mind that you retreat to for meditation. Most people, it is a nice, quiet, serene space in nature. Go to your happy healing space and just relax. Get comfortable there. Push that tension out. Down through your forehead and third eye. pressed down through your feet. As you come to full relaxation, this deep state of rest, there in your happy space. Witness a door opening. Out of nowhere, you're standing in the middle of an open space there in your happy open space. When you approach that door, there upon it are inscribed several runes: Hagalaz, Ansuz, I want you to open that door and step on through. As you step on through, you find yourself in a complete void. Not of darkness, not of light, just emptiness and openness and expanse, free to receive. This is a void of potential. And as you float there in the void begins to shift. Ground coalesces beneath your feet. Sky appears above you. Firm, spongy ground full of lush, vibrant green grass. You're standing in the foothills of northern Europe, 15,000 years ago, at the edge of a vast open plains broad to the west, a rugged hillscape to the east, rising into the mountains. Atop one of the hills is a tall old tree, dead. And as you look more closely, you can see a middle-aged man hanging by his feet. To his side is a deep wound, slowly bleeding out. This man was a chieftain who was best known by his own son. He would agreed with his methods of the tribe. slow but full of wonder. And then you see it coalescing before the man, this swirl of light. It's faint at first, but it slowly pulses brighter and brighter before his face. He opens his eyes and sees the light. You hear him whisper his name, Wodan. The sphere of light flashes bright. Enters his body. The blood from his wound stops spilling out. Slowly, it begins to heal and knit the wound closed. Little by little, the energy of this man grows stronger and stronger. Until he's able to lift himself up for himself. This was Ansuz. This was Odin. This was the beginning. Those myths, those legends, the great Trance. Never shared through time. It was the explorer that gave him those abilities, those powers. Because after a time, they broke away. They ended their bonding. Too much war and destruction. In the intention was far from invincible. Much closer. And while the Runa will not be with us anymore on the same level, they will lend their energy to aid you. I want you to return to the void of potential, that blackness, that darkness without darkness, without light. And open the door back to your happy healing space. Now we're going to meditate to call on Ansuz. I want you to recall that euphoric energy of Odin as he hung by his feet dying. chant and call on Continue that chant. Think about whatever you might need clarity on right now. Whatever wisdom or knowledge eludes you when you sleep. Whatever affliction bothers your mind, affects your brain. Call on Ansuz to aid you. Now you know how to connect to Ansuz, how Ansuz may help you. Simply recall that euphoric state of wonder and call for Ansuz. Clarity, for relief of any affliction of the mind and brain. But for now, wiggle your fingers and toes. Stretch your arms and legs. And slowly come back to the present time and space. Feeling clearer in mind. Relaxed and refreshed. And thank you for joining me in this experience. Next week, at the same time, on Wednesday, we will be exploring Thorizaz, the Rune of Thor, which is next in the journey. Similar experience, we will travel back to witness the Runa that bonded with Thor, how he was brought here by Ansuz, and how he may help you in this time. If you're interested in using runes with crystals, as I do, for Ansuz, there are a ton of crystals that will work well with Ansuz. And it all kind of depends on exactly what you're looking to do. Some of the more potent ones, if it is a physical type aspect that you are wanting to work with, albite, alexandrite, Tibetan black quartz, phenacite, amethyst, fluorite, kyanite, especially blue, petersite, red calcite, dravite, and Siberian blue quartz are all amazing to work with Ansuz. If it's a spiritual or emotional type of affliction, demorderite, herderite, naturalite, amethyst, again, lazulite, blue aragonite, shaman stone, blue lace agate, dambrite, ametrine, clear calcite, golden labradorite, blue jade, Lemurian jade, moonstone, tourmaline quartz, kyanite again, amazonite, aquamarine, blue topaz, blue tourmaline, papagoite, iolite, sunstone. Are all wonderful. It's a huge list, but that's not even the full comprehensive list. The Big Book of Stones is my recommendation on things crystal related information wise. It is essentially an encyclopedia of crystals and how they can help you physically, emotionally, spiritually, all the different ways. Highly recommend that book. I use it so much. If you have any questions, please feel free to post them in the comments. Let me know. I am always open and available for questions. And also let me know how you experienced the little trance journey. Like I said, I've never done it going that far back out of somebody's own timeline other than for myself. But I know that it works for me because I have my past life from back then. So please let me know how well you were able to experience it, the detail, the feelings. I would very much love and appreciate that data. I hope you enjoyed the experience, and I hope you come back for the next one next week. Till then, Behu Unyo Dagaz. Stay blessed, my friends.